friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design, and this is Throwback Thursday. Today I'm doing a special request. Some of you had asked me to share my technique for using this beautiful Spellbinders Floral Swag 3D embossing folder. And I had shared a bunch of projects I made with it a while back. I'll put the link in the description box below so you can see those. But this is a really easy technique. And I went through my stash of older papers, and today we're going to work with Blue Fern's Yuletide collection. This is one gorgeous paper collection. It is super vintage. It is super beautiful. I mean, I love the blues and the reds in it. It's just got this very romantic, dreamy quality that all Blue Fern papers tend to have. So I'm giving you a quick look at the papers. Don't you love this wood grain? And then what I'm gonna do is limit myself to working with scraps because I have a lot of them. So rather than cut into a new piece of paper, we're gonna work with our scraps, and we're gonna make this embossed, 3D embossed card. Look at that, so gorgeous. Anyway, and the panel of paper, and then I've got this stack. This is all pre-cut papers here, stacks of little images, and I even found a card base that we're gonna work with. So this is gonna be one of those use up your scraps. I also have a bit of a 12 by 12. I don't think we're probably gonna use that, but okay. So this is a nice heavy cardstock, and it's matte rather than shiny, which is what I recommend for this particular technique. So the first thing I'm going to do is lightly mist my paper. I've got my Tim Holtz mister, and you can see I'm not saturating this thing. It's just a little mist. What this does is it releases the starch in the paper. It also softens the paper, so it will take the embossing better. Now, if you look at your embossing folder, one side of it has a recessed design. The other side of it has a raised design. You want to put your paper on the raised design. And I think I want this part of the swag that has the bow. But if you want this part up here, you can do it that way. So I'm just going to lay this in here and close the cover. And then I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine using my machine's sandwich. I have a Anna Griffin machine, so it uses a little bit different sandwich. And if you need to adjust things to make sure they're straight, you can kind of see through the embossing folder. I might want to come down just a little bit more. So I'm just putting this in here, and I'm going to go run this through my machine. Okay, so let's open this up and see what we've got. I know you probably cannot see this very well with the camera, but it's a beautiful raised design. So I'm going to hit this with my heat tool just for a second to dry it. Okay, now that this is dry, and don't worry that it's a little lumpy, that's not a problem. I took just a little bit of ivory chalk paint. Whatever chalk paint you have is fine. This is just what I have. And I'm going to, and I've got a little piece of trash calendar here. And I'm going to take most of the paint off my brush. This is dry brushing. And then I'm going to bring my paper in, and I'm just going to lightly go over this embossed area. If you need to pick up a little more paint, you can, but the whole idea is you're just dry brushing, right? You're not really painting. You have as little paint as possible on your brush. And you can go back over several times. It's better than trying to put a heavy coat on the first time. Do you see how gorgeous that is? I hope the camera is picking this up. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my brush. I'm letting the paint do the work. Look at that. So beautiful. I mean, just really beautiful. So while I've got my paintbrush messed up, I'm just going to hit these edges a little bit. And do you see how that makes it pop? So pretty. And then I'm going to take a little bit more paint and put it down. And thin it. I'm just going to spatter. Well, I don't think I have enough paint on there for it to spatter. Hold on. So I'm just tapping my paintbrush, and it puts these pretty spatters. There we go. On the paper. All right, so that is that. Now I like this just like this, but I just want to show you, this is a little Distress Oxide and Speckled Egg. And I just want to show you, like, over these berries, you can come in and you can add a little more color if you want. And again, I'm just lightly sponging. But you can see how that sort of changes the basic look. Adds a pretty shadow effect. And then if you want to, you can come in with a metallic wax. I happen to have this from Little Birdie. I don't know if they've discontinued this, but I just kind of lightly rub my finger over it. And then I'm just going to skim over the top of these little berries, these little pieces, just to bring in another level. And maybe the bow. So see, you can use your finger. You have a lot of control. I'm not pressing down very hard at all. The harder you press, the more wax that's, you know, metallic wax is going to be left behind. See how pretty that is? I hope the camera picks that up. But it's just a really beautiful, everything is soft and subtle. And we took this rather, I mean, this was a beautiful, don't get me wrong, this was a beautiful panel of paper, but look at all the layers we created just by using that dye, some dry brushing, a little bit of inking, and a little bit of metallic wax. So that is my tutorial for today. I'm going to finish this card and come back and show you what I've done. All right, guys, I got it all finished, and I have to say I really love the way that this turned out. I decided to pick up a lot of the blue shades in the paper collection, and on the cover I really only just added some of the pieces from the ephemera pack, and then I surrounded it with some Rene Bouquet mulberry flowers and a Rene Bouquet snowflake, and then I added these old Prima pearls that I've had in my stash forever, but this is Throwback Thursday, so that's all right. The silver leaves were also Rene Bouquets. I'm not sure if she still has those. And on my little title, I added a vintage key that I found, but I didn't want to cover up all the embossing. I love how old this looks. It just turned out great. On the inside, I decided to create one of my Tea Party in a Box cards. So here's an image, a journal card from the paper collection, and this is a flip out. Here's this beautiful image of the skaters, and then a little note card tucked in over on the side. Down on the bottom, I've got a whole tea party going on. This is an Amazing Paper Grace die from last year. I think this was the November 2021 die of the month, and I just created a little gift card wallet. And you wouldn't have to put a gift card in there. You could put any sort of little something, a little note. And then I created a little tea sachet with a belly band and added a chocolate, and the tea is inside the sachet. The belly band just slips off. I didn't really decorate the sachet. Little panel on the inside where you can write a note. But so there's that. And then I took another scrap and stitched up a quick bookmark with some red ticking material that I had in my stash. Just another little gift to throw in there. This imported Italian demi-tasse spoon, so beautiful. A little honey stick, a peppermint stick, and some cookies. So it's a beautiful little tea party in a box. These make wonderful gifts. I tend to make a lot of these at the holidays because they're just the perfect thing for a Secret Santa gift, or, you know, a close friend or a neighbor, and they're very special. There's so much in them. And for anyone who loves tea or chocolate, they're a really lovely treat. So that is it for me. I know this was a short Throwback Thursday. I am working on my Button Farm Club kit, which I'm excited to share that with you. Hopefully tomorrow or Saturday, I'll have that all done and be able to share that with you. Again, this is Blue Fern Yuletide collection, and we use that Spellbinders Floral Swag 3D embossing folder. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I kind of built that background. All right, guys, I got work to do. I got to scoop, but thank you so much for joining me, and I'm going to go get my craft done. Bye.